What's going on, everyone? Thanks for joining me here. I got a quick little video I want to share with you about everything that's going on with fur takers. Dave Hastings has got to give us a few words here about what trappers are up against, what we're doing to fight it, and how you can help. You know, we're the first line of defense, as you know. You can't do enough. So I'm going to turn that over to him just in a second. I ran into him at the fairgrounds at the national convention there in Kansas. Great city, by the way. We had a great time. Kansas is the second time I've been to this location for a convention, and yeah, I love it. I think the Kansas Association did a good job. You know, you can throw in all the factors. You know, gas prices, fur prices. Pennsylvania had their deal going on. I mean, you can make excuses all day long why there wasn't thousands of people there, but they had a turnout. It was good, about what you would expect out there. So, and it was just a good time all around. Plenty to see and do. Stuff for the kids. They had vendors, tailgaters, and I will say, whoever brought the food truck in there, I was happy with. They had shrimp tacos. I mean, they were selling lobster at a trapping convention. Who would have thought? You know, so. I was very pleased with the food. And of course, I was set up there with Hoosier Trapper Supply, and we sold some stuff there, some lures, and talked to some old friends and made some new ones. So, like I said, great time. If you can go to a convention, go. A lot of times there's that core group you'll see at every convention. And then you have some locals that show up that you don't always see depending on where you're at. It's just a good time all the way around, and really helps you know, the trapping community all together. So let's go talk. I got this little clip here I want to share with you. Dave talking about everything. We have Lima, Ohio for the National Trappers Association coming up next month for their national gig there. And another great fairgrounds, been there before. And I'm also in the works of having music there too. So Saturday night, for the people that stick around, it might be an extra good time. We're gonna have some country music. Not sure who's gonna play it yet. I'm working on that, but they gave me the go-ahead green light to try and book a good country band. So can't go wrong there. So all right, well, I'm done rambling. That's my report. The convention was great. Let's go see what Dave has to say.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Hastings. I'm currently president of the Fur Takers of America, and we got lots of stuff going on. We'd like you to know about it, if you would. First of all, we got 3 lawsuits that we're engaged in a very proactive way across the country. The courts and legal system and judges are being used by those who would like to end trapping and harvest for wildlife conservation in general. We have a lawsuit going on in Minnesota about a public land trapping issue. That one's a hotly contested one, and we're fighting that like crazy right now. And the Fur Takers of America, the National Trappers Association, and the New Mexico Trappers Association are combined in that lawsuit. We expect to be in court very soon. We also have a court case in Minnesota. The Center for Biodiversity has sued the state of Minnesota over the lynx issue. It's a little bit of a silly issue, but it's politically and legally correct and logically inaccurate. The state of Minnesota and the center decided that they would settle with some sort of out-of-court agreement, took away some trapping rights that weren't huge, but they were significant. We talked to the Minnesota leadership, and the Minnesota leadership says we're not satisfied with always losing a little bit at a time. So we have filed, as a matter of fact, yesterday we filed the intent to challenge that settlement, because we find that the material and the issues are on our side. We win that case. We currently have a third issue going in Idaho over the wolves. It's extremely complicated, and it covers lots of territory, but basically the people who would have us stop conserving wildlife with traditional methods have tried to do so in Idaho, to the point where we can't harvest any wolves, and we're in the middle of a huge legal battle that comes directly through the Endangered Species Act and all sorts of court issues. And so those are the things we're firing away with. We feel like we're on fire, we feel like we're out front, and we're on the offense, and we're not just going to back off and hope they don't pick on us anymore. We're going after them, saying no. One very significant change in the last few years is that the Sportsman's Alliance has begun a program called Conservation Outdoor Adventures in high schools. Currently, there are 77 high schools in Ohio, a few in Pennsylvania, a few other states, where we are teaching wildlife conservation directly into the high school classroom with the high school sponsor. And this effort puts us in a position to have a legitimate curricular access to kids of all ages and all kinds of schools. So what we're trying to do is let people grow up knowing what conservation is about, rather than wait till they hear it from the animal rights activists, have an inclination one way or the other, and then are used against it. So that's been one of the most proactive actions that I can remember in my career. So we're excited. Sportsmen's Alliance is excited. One more activity that we're working on very hard is with the Congressional Sportsmen's Caucus. This is a group of like-minded state legislators, property managers, agency people across the country. This caucus represents the movers and shakers in the country, and they have an association, and years have gone by where they have been working and trapping has not been part of that picture. Trapping can be contested, it has controversial issues, and so they sort of left it alone. Last few years we've had lots of communications with them, and they are now embracing the trapping issue. This year we're meeting in Idaho, and it's going to be a beautiful setting in December. We meet with all kinds of folks. We get a chance to discuss all of the issues about what trapping is and how it affects conservation. This is perfect timing because all across places like the Southeast, where turkey populations and grouse populations, quail populations are in a drastic decline, we have a perfect storm of low fur prices, low interest, and these nest predators are wiping them out. So everybody in the outdoor conservation community is sort of climbing on board and realizing that trapping is technically and critically important to the management of wildlife. So in some ways we're always the target of people who would stop what we do, but I can't remember in my lifetime a situation where we've had more potential for positive growth than today. We're on fire, we're being proactive, and we're going after them, and I think we can get it done.